members. Regional.
Or special.
One that
And what I love you, our son.
Love you, our son. Wow. Oh my God.
Foolish. Heart attack. What happened to me? What is your name? Have we met?
Host portal. Host portal. Host portal.
Stop recording. We command it. Thank you.
there's a secret there.
I'm coming. Haunted, please listen. How did you get here? Smile.
Host portal.
We command it. Holy water. How did you get here? Bring it to me. We command it. Turn it off. Holy water. Haunted, please listen.
Saint Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil.
Oh no. Oh God. No, I'm out.
Enter.
For 52 years, I've been here on this earth. And right about the time that I think that there's not much that's going to shock the ever-loving hell out of me, well, we are talking about 2 upcoming episodes of the Mountain Mysteries podcast this evening. As you can see, my name's Chris Sloan. In just a second, we're going to be joined by my co-host, Stacia Underwood-Gullett. When this first happened was back in 2019, the first time I'd heard about one of the people who is going to be the center of an episode. She's been missing ever since. Last time anybody saw her, and this is exactly why I love talking to the families, because there was 2 different things there. Some people said it was August. Some people said it was October. We're going to find out more, though, because we are going to speak with them. We've been very fortunate and blessed with that. I don't get exactly why or how anybody can just drop off the face of the earth. And if you see me doing this something night, I've got a gnat or two flying around. It's a benefit of having the patio next to the studio. And then, of course, the other one, June, Amber. I did not know either one of these people personally, but I rest assured that before this over with, like April, or maybe like Dwayne, or maybe like Heather, or any number of other people that we've done episodes concerning, I will feel like I've known them my whole life. April, I did know. I knew her. We went to high school together. She was a grade or two younger. For those of you watching for the first time, the rest of the family members know this. The rest of the guys know this. But I'd never met Heather. And I had never met Dwayne Lovelace. But I feel like I know them. These are some of the people that I spend a lot of my time with now. Very pretty girls. Very sweet. This guy's like my brother. Lost him some time ago. But he loved this thing. He loved this show. Always said it had remarkable potential. That's Crystal. There's Ollie. And the list goes on. You see, the reason I had not approached this before with any of these was I thought that there was nothing new I could bring to it. And I was wrong. After having a dream of some time back, and everybody that watches the show regularly knows about the dream because we talk about things like this. I had a dream driving one night in my car, pitch black. And I don't know if the, excuse me, if the proper way to say it was I was frightened or I was nervous, but it was maybe some of both. And I felt this hand. Now, keep in mind, April was murdered in 1991. But I looked over and it was her hand on me and she just looked at me. And without saying a word, I knew what she was saying. Get back to what you do. Didn't make a whole lot of sense to me until I had time the next day or so to think about it. Everybody knows how Amber was murdered. The who's and the whys, that's what evade us. Not for long. I honestly believe not for long. And as far as missing Krista, as far as Krista Garrett and missing for 4 years, she didn't drop off the face of this earth on her own. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world that I know, but I'm smart enough to know that. And so is everybody else, including her family. You know, I had the pleasure once of meeting and becoming friends with Sharon Barron, who is April's mom. And when I went to do the episode that you saw on the young lady earlier, Heather, Sharon said, I can only imagine the hell they're going through. And I looked at her because she lost her daughter. And she said, look, I know where my daughter's at. I know where her remains are. I can go visit her. I can go sit and talk to her or share thoughts and feelings and experiences. And her mom can't. Well, that hit a whole nother level of feels you can imagine. So the podcast episodes, the next 2 episodes are going to drop are going to be about Amber Spradlin and Krista Garrett. My biggest regret is that I waited as long as I did. But instead of going over the information, well, actually, let me rephrase that. We're going to go over accurate information, not rumors, not speculation and injecture. But we're also going to go over how they lived, who they were as people, the joy they brought, the joy that they brought to so many people. I can vaguely remember having one encounter with Amber because of a restaurant she worked at. And I remembered thinking, wow, she's great. And of course, as most of us, we don't think nothing else about it and we go on. But for that to stand out to me, I always had a smile. So who and why? I cannot fathom a reason. For some of the new folks in here, you're going to see a ton in the chat room, depending upon where you're at. Right now this thing is broadcasting across several channels. It's on Facebook, The Mountain Mysteries, and we invite you all to follow us on there. It doesn't cost you anything. Also, of course, on YouTube, Chris Sloan Media. And I think that there was another one there. Chris Sloan On Air, which is like the one that we use for the radio stuff and working with the radio stations and doing voice work and all that stuff, which is really pretty cool. But still, you're free to follow them. I have posted links also. I love this, what Marcella said. Justice will be served. 18,000 plus of us are standing united to make sure of it. I love this. I love that. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. To Cassie Cottle, justice for these sweet girls. Yes. Justice for all. Margaret, Libby, Dave. Yes. This is how I get started when I get on my box. Lisa Collins, justice for Amber. I love it. Yeah. I'm bringing on my co-host right now, so she will keep me in check. Hello, dear.
Hey,
You know how I get, and I'm starting to get riled up on this.
I'm an emotional boat too. Might as well come on and get a paddle.
Well, for me, it's not so much as being, for me, it's getting pissed off.
Yeah,
Just to name it like it is.
yeah.
We're going to talk more with their families, hopefully, just in the next few days. The podcast episode, and I've had so many. And first off, guys, let me thank every one of you who have come into the Mountain Mysteries Facebook. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and how much Stace appreciates you. In the background is Stace's husband, Lloyd. You saw in the opening, Lloyd is kind of like the comic relief of this particular show. But when we do the Mountain Mysteries podcast, there's not a whole lot of comedy in there. We stick to honoring, remembering, and loving. Okay. The Mountain Mysteries is all about, it's a podcast that's all about the people that we've lost and love and have left behind, including their families, the ones that they've left behind. That's why we do it. I've been asked several times, how much is it to listen to the podcast? That would be not a damn thing. No money. We don't do it for that. I do it. And I got the sweetest compliment from this girl on Facebook, or from this young lady on Facebook. And she said, thank you so much for being a voice. That brought tears to my eyes.
Yes.
It's an honor for me. It's not something that, anybody feels like they owe me or that I owe anybody. And I owe God. My mom used to tell me, and thank you, Vicki. Thank you very much. She said this is her first viewing. Thank you for what you're doing. Justice for Amber from Johnson County. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Vicky.
I remember, and I'll give you a real brief rundown on this for the new people. I was in third grade. And of course, like a little boy in third grade, And then all of a sudden, one day, my teacher, and I think you might have been in class with me, Stacia and I have known each other for years. And she said, okay, what's 3 times 3, Chris? And I said, 9. And everybody in there just went, the hell that come from? Yeah. But my mom told me, what you have is a gift from God, and what you do to it or what you do with it is a gift back to him. I think
She's right.
I think she would be pleased with this.
Yes.
Cassie says that she went to school with Amber and Krista. I tell you what, guys, if you've not seen it before, here in a few moments, we're going to start throwing the chats up as you talk, as you chat. And I don't care to duck down out of the way or something like that. We've got that. This is not your typical Facebook Live stuff. It never has. Welcome, Lenora, watching first time. Glad you're here. I'm glad all of you guys are here. And I've got to say right off the bat, I love you all for your passion. I think what you're doing is great. And we are happy to be a part of it in any way that we can. And I want to thank Amber's cousin, Debbie, and also Krista's family, who reached out to me when all I said was, I'd love to do an episode if I could get a hold of somebody. It wasn't seconds later. The doc had got a hold of me. And then right after that, Krista's family. And I'm sitting there going, well, look, we'll do them back to back. I'll do one on Friday, one on Saturday. That's fine. I don't tire when it comes to this.
That's right.
And the reason I don't is because somebody on a mass level has to speak for them. Don't get me wrong. I know Nancy Grace has done this for Amber, and I think that's awesome. God bless her. Thing is I ain't going to quit.
That's right.
Because, and I'm not saying Nancy is in this for the ratings at all. I think she's in it for the right reasons. She has suffered some real shit. But I can't let go of things. I just don't. I'm still after who did that to April and to and to Heather. And that's why every once in a while I break loose and I go off on a little tangent and I do an episode about Mothman or ghosties or aliens or something. Do they interest me? Yeah, kind of. But nothing like this does. For those of you who aren't aware of what it is that Stace does, she is a paranormal investigator. Has been for 30 years.
Yes.
I love what Margaret said. We don't shut up. We are there.
Right.
That's exactly right. That's you damn right.
That's right.
But Stace has a multitude of equipment. And, 20 years ago, I'd have said, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Bob's your uncle. But you see, I lost my mom and dad 33 days apart in 2019. Mom died in the hospital. I walked in and I found my dad dead. Died of a broken heart. And it was not very long after that Stace has this device called an ovulus and something that is loosely named a spirit box. And actually, she's got more than just those. She's got a bunch. But anyway, I heard my mother's voice as clear as a bell. Back up to 2021, I lost my brother. A guy that was like my brother, Trevor Huff, heard his voice. Many of you in Floyd, Johnson, Pike counties or around the eastern Kentucky regions heard about when Ollie Little, the Floyd County Sheriff's officer, died. Ollie was a very good friend of mine. He was like a brother to me, too. I had a lot of very close, tight-knit friends. Ollie came through. We heard his voice.
Yep.
Unless I was just hearing things that I wanted to hear. And I'm telling you, I know my mother's voice and my dad's. So with that being said, what is coming up? So you may very well hear this in the background going off. You're welcome here anytime. That's all of you. We do this. That's the ovulus.
This
and
is one of the ovulus.
Words, it spits out what it's saying, what it's trying to communicate.
I don't know if you can see for that. Turn off the.
A friend of mine, Wanda Hill, said that she's heard Trevor a couple of times on there.
Yep. We've heard Trevor. We've heard all kinds. This came across a few minutes ago, and it said she was slain. And then when we were talking about Dwayne, it said swim.
Dwayne died in Wolf County Lake, or whatever it's called. He was in Campton. He was drowned. Purposely. He was murdered.
Yes.
All the facts point to it. Problem with it is they can't wrap their arms or their hands around the neck that did it yet. And we know who killed April. It's just a matter of proving it, because it is like a federal court judge told me once. Chris, it ain't what you know, it's what you can prove. You know, there are really times I wish I was born in the 1800s. Probably wouldn't have lived this long, but justice was a little more swift.
Yeah.
Especially when all the evidence points to it. Janet Sanders Adams, first time watching. Thank you so much, Justice for Amber. You're quite welcome. Too much money passing damn hands. Margaret, I can't fight that one. You can't argue with the truth. My daddy used to say that. But we do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. And then if you should ever decide that you want to become a Patreon patron, you get a couple of things for that. You get early access to all the podcast episodes, anywhere from 3 days to a week early. And with these, it'll probably be about a week early. And you also get access to a thing that we do, which is called Contact, in which we will take, and I'm going to pick somebody out here. I'm going to say we're going to take Shane Michael Grass. And Shane comes to us and says, hey, I'd love to hear from a dear friend. And we do our dead level best to try it. Sometimes we get it. Sometimes it comes through. We can't make somebody come through. I don't know if you believe in this or not, and I'm not here to convince you. All I am here to ask you to do is keep an open mind and watch things work, because I'm telling you, it blew my freaking mind the first time I saw it. And I heard my mother say, love you, baby. I heard April come through and say, you're my star. Because that's how this whole thing got started, was because of her. I was coming home from work one day, and you know how you get people on your mind that you've lost. We all do it. And I decided to Google April Renee Pennington, and I found one thing on her on Google. Google, the largest search engine in the world. One thing. And it was something that Stacia had put on there. It was her find a grave. That was it. Google her now. It goes deep. Google her now. That thing does kind of rattle my nerves, and it scares poor Lloyd Plum to death sometimes. But these episodes, the way, the numerical order that they're going to fall in is going to be Amber, and then after that, Krista. See, I was contacted some time back about Krista, but we all know it's in God's timing. Even though I'm sitting here thinking, I can do this right now. God has other plans. And my mother, rest her soul, used to say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plan.
Did you hear that?
He's got a thing for everything. What I missed it. What did it say?
She was murdered and held it out on the murdered.
Now, I also do the skeptic side of me comes through and says, look, just because we hear something come through and say, Chris, does it mean it's talking about Chris Sloan? No. But when it comes through and says, the guy with the big mouth that's on the radio a lot, or something along that line, you get what I'm saying?
Also, before we start, I'll also sit down with everything and go over what we're going to be talking about, and I'll offer up, hey, if you can help us, please come through.
Mm-hmm.
Be in our circle.
Back in the day, I didn't really, and then I had some personal experiences of my own. Matter of fact, it was 30 years ago. I was 32 years old. Or no, 20 years ago. Good Lord, I'm trying to make myself older than I am. It was 20 years ago. And I'll never forget it. I lived right across the road from Q95 FM. And something smacked me so hard, it got me up out of bed. It knocked me out of bed. I'll never forget that. It was at that moment I thought, maybe there is something to it. So let's get on with it a little bit. Some of the details that we know, and I have to agree, and I'm going to find out more about this. And you'll excuse my cough. It's a blood pressure thing. Medication. Anyways, Amber's family has said that there's so many facets to this that it's not even funny, and I see that. I was just doing some honest research, trying to sort fact from fiction, or trying to sort fact from conjecture and speculation. And what I saw, I was like, you have got to be flipping kidding me.
8 involved.
You said what?
8 involved.
I don't know that there was 8, but I do know that there was more than one. And that is why I love the fact and the opportunity, and I'm so grateful that I've got the opportunity to talk to their family, to Amber's family, Debbie, and other folks there that may show up, that I hope show up, because they know more than I ever could about this. My story or my job is to tell you her story, and they are a part of that story, and they are going to bring back memories. This is not easy for the family, but I want her to get every ounce of attention she can. I want her case to get the attention because, in the end, a human being was viciously murdered. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, stabbed 11 times. Now, to me, that screams one thing: rage. Rage is personal.
Yes, yes.
Rage is something that if I'm going down the road and I'm going to pull a Michael Myers or I'm going to pull a Jason Voorhees, hell, Michael Myers didn't stab him 11 times. 2 or 3, let's move on to the next one. Don't know if it was a script thing or what, I'm assuming. But he was done. Whoever did this, it was rage and it was personal. I do believe that. And I'm not calling out any names and I'm not injecting speculation. But I am saying the fact of the matter is she was viciously, brutally murdered, and she did not deserve that. I don't know of any human being that deserves that, like that, unless they've done it to 2 or 3 other people or whatever. I don't get that. Their story does matter. Their lives mattered.
That's right.
Amber brought happiness. She brought joy. So did Krista. Now, a lot of things I've read on Krista said that she was kind of a loner. I used to be an extrovert big time. And what was it? Oh, yeah, shit happened. Things happen. They change you. What you see right now, this is my little space. Stacia will tell you that. Lloyd will tell you that. Just about anybody that knows me says he's happy in his little cubby hole, in his little studio. I do, because from here I feel like I can make a difference, or at least I hope I can try. This studio is very, very small. But what comes out of it is very, very big. We have made differences. Stacia and I both have. We've received emails. We've received phone calls saying thanks, almost committed suicide until I realized we're not the only ones going through this. No. I've had several people ask me where you can find the Mountain Mysteries episodes. You can get those on Spotify, Apple, about anywhere you can find them. But maybe more importantly is when are they going to be released? That's a really good question. I can tell you that I have not yet begun work on Krista's. I have on Amber's. And as soon as Amber's is complete and I'm satisfied with it, and I hear Deb is okay with it, and her family is like, yeah, okay. At that particular point, we move forward. And that day, unless it's late at night, and I'm going on 2 cups of coffee and a freaking dream, we're going to start on Krista's. So I'm thinking about 2 or 3 weeks in between each other. The first one probably September, early October, no later, I would assume.
I have a question. You know how my mind thinks, and
No,
I
that's
come
okay.
up with stuff. And,
That's okay.
was Amber involved with anyone who was in the home, like in a relationship type deal?
That is a question I can't answer. I don't know, but that is a very
yeah,
good
that's what.
question for
Does
me to
anyone
ask.
know if any people that were in there with her? I mean, this is surely rage,
Well, yeah, but there could be several reasons for rage too. But
jealousy.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, jealousy could
love,
be one,
hate.
or maybe somebody found out something that the other individual did not want anyone to know. That's a possibility. And for some reason, you know how I am with my feelings. I'm leaning in that direction. I do know that Amber worked very hard. Everything I found on her, people really loved being around her. They liked her. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, from what I understand, Krista was a little bit more of a person who preferred her own company as to opposed to that of a crowd. Okay. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be more to yourself, then guess what? I get it. I get it. I understand that quite well. But that does not give anybody the right to abduct you. And that's something else, too. I was talking in one of my other part-time jobs. I've got but I'm an apartment manager. And I love the fact that I think that we provide a great service and it helps people. Everybody needs a place to live. And nobody seems to see how important it is until you ain't got a place to live. Anyways, I had this young lady who I've known for 7, 8 years. Her and her husband come in and talks to me about the fact that she was almost abducted by a guy in what I call the PD pedo van. Now, this lady is a full-grown woman, but still, human trafficking is what she was alluding to. And so I started looking into this because we got to do something on this. I started looking into this, and I found that it is a whole lot worse around here than what anybody thinks or had thought, or at least me. I knew it was going on in Richmond, Lexington. Hell, Lexington's the next Chicago. That's the way it is right now. But I knew that this stuff had been going on, but I didn't know to what extent. At least not around here. Because I remember being a kid growing up and my dad saying, Eastern Kentucky, son's 15 years behind the rest of the world. Well, guess what, Dad? We've caught up. We've got murders, gun blasts, gun fights. We've got people killing people over $10. We've got guys abducting single moms or single females. For what purpose exactly? And then they're never seen or heard from again. The only thing I can think of, and I ain't finding no bodies like that, the only thing I can think of is trafficking. It's the only thing that makes sense immediately to me. But please, if I'm wrong, somebody step in and offer me another. Yeah. Sandra Music, rage attack, jealousy, know something, drugs. We don't know, but we're going to find out. It's happening. Now, I do have a lot of faith that the investigators that are handling this are going to get this done. It's happening. We have to be, unfortunately, a little patient. And I know for some of us, that's hard. But we really don't have much of a choice right now. Because I honestly do believe that it doesn't matter if I think I know who did it or not. Again, going back to the judge, the federal court, it doesn't matter what you know, it's about what you can prove. And I would 10 to 1 rather see whoever did this standing trial and getting rightfully convicted and then going to prison for the rest of their lives and never breathing free air again. That's as close to justice as we can get. But here's the kicker.
Help me.
Nothing is ever going to bring her back. And that in and of itself defies justice. Justice is about balance. It's not about revenge, even though that revenge would taste so sweet. But we've got to remember, we have got to let the system work until it doesn't. But if the system works, then what we've got is something right there that we can come in, put a little bit of faith into, and hopefully get something back out of, if we're lucky. But yeah, you're right, Teresa K. Crum. Patience in pain is the hardest thing.
Amen.
Absolutely correct. So, with that being said, we hope that her first episode is going to be released. What is today's date? Today's what, the 8th? Or 7th? I'm sorry, 7th. Soon to be the 8th. Okay. So, I'm thinking sometime around the 29th. Because normally the Mountain Mysteries podcast episodes drop on Fridays. And I've had so many people ask about What is this podcast? Where did it come from? Um, it's a funny thing. You have said it. Tracy has said it. So many of the people that have listened to it have said it. Just give it time. Trevor Huff used to say it. Just give it time. Let this thing hit. And when it hits, people will see it. And they'll like it. I really think that. Can I please everybody? No. I'm not trying to please everybody. I'm trying to do something for the people that lost their lives. And nobody knows how or by whom or why. And I'm trying to do something to always keep those memories alive. Because those podcasts, once they're out there, they're out there. And you never know, one day, 10, 15 years down the road, maybe one of your kids will pick it up and listen to it. And they'll know the name. They'll know the name, Krista Garrett. They'll know the name. They'll know Amber's name. They'll know April's name. Heather's, Dwayne's. Take your pick. To be quite honest with you, I'm fine living in anonymity. But like Mom said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. He's sticking you in a spotlight, so do something with it. I don't want the spotlight. I want the justice. I want to see these families finally see some kind of peace, because they're never going to see peace like they were before. Because let me tell you something. This whole, it gets better in time. Bullshit. No, it doesn't. It never gets better in time. I'm so sick of hearing that. What you get in time is you learn how to deal with it. Now, does that mean the rest of your life is going to be horrible? No, and it doesn't have to be. But the next time, I guess people say that to you because they don't know what else to say.
Right.
And they're sitting there begging. Well, I'm looking for the words, but I don't want to say. Just say, I'm sorry. I wish I could do something for you. I can be there and I can listen to you. Let me get you a cup of coffee. Let's sit here and talk. And if you just want to sit here in silence, guess what? I'm great at that too. But don't tell them it'll get better in time, because then you're lying to them. I know I've had to do it. I had to tell my dad that his wife of 53 years was dead. My mother. So I know what that's like. And then I had to tell my brother, my special needs brother, that my dad was gone.
Did you hear that?
3 days later.
So can you hear me, babe?
I missed it.
I miss you.
The elevation was up there. I was on my soapbox.
As soon as you were saying that, it said, can you hear me, babe? And it said, I miss you.
Did it sound like Mom or April or?
A little older than April.
It could have been Mom.
It said Helen right there.
We do have our regulars. I've got some people in here like Norm. Barry is one of them. Barry Penix. He's like Norm on Cheers. He walks in, everybody goes, Barry. Yeah, I mean, everybody just knows him. Charlie's another one. I mean, and so is Helen. Basically, what we've got going on here is a family.
That's right.
What I asked for was enough money to get together to pay for this platform and a few trips to do the podcast episodes. And guess what?
You got it.
That's what we got. Do you hear that? He said, you got it. You got it.
Wow.
I'm telling you, if you were kind of like, that was just a coincidence. It's like the weather in Kentucky. If you want to see it change, wait 5 minutes.
Right.
Because what she can do, it's crazy. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, Lenora heard it. She was like, you got it. Everybody, yeah. Thank you both for doing this. We talked about, I'm going to start putting some of your comments up here on the page, if that's okay. We will do a very, albeit brief session if you guys would like to see and experience this. But really tonight, I want this to be about two ladies, Amber and Krista. We know one was viciously, brutally murdered, and we don't know exactly where the other one's at. But I got to say, after 4 years, I'm scared. I'm way scared, way past scared. So anyways, Kentucky Songbird. Up here goes, there we go. Just before I know that you can get answers. Thank you for both. You are more than we thank you guys for being a part of this and watching it. Jessica Preston, Helen is my other mama. I lived at her house. It's amazing that how many people around here got tired. Jane heard it too. You got it. Wanda Spradlin.
Here, Crystal.
Yes, it doesn't leave. You just learn to go on. You are so right. And there's so many men. Heather Pennington. God will provide justice. I truly believe it when it's time. I believe he's working his hardest to make sure that all the ones involved are blamed for it. And I do believe it will happen. Like I said, what happens in the dark always comes to light. Always. That's very true, Heather. And very well. I love the way you put that. It's true. These are some of the things. So what else have we got going on tonight?
I'm contacting the band player.
The band player. Well, I know it ain't talking to me.
To do a set.
I couldn't carry a note in a bucket, so I know it's not me. I really like what Heather said here. Krista might not have liked to be alone, but she never would have been gone this long without talking to her kids. She loved anything. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, trust me, we won't stop.
Yeah.
I'll do this 24 hours a day, and I write everything down if I'm not recording everything that comes through this box. And Sunday, we're going to try a new experiment, too, to see if we can get any more answers.
Now, Sunday is the contact thing. That is a Patreon-only thing. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do this Sunday. I'm going to publish it all over the place because since we've got so many new followers and listeners, is that okay with you, dear?
Absolutely. I'm here
We
to
are
help.
going to open contact wide open. It'll be Sunday at 8 o'clock. You don't have to be a patron for this episode, so you can see exactly what we're talking about when we take people who come to it. Now, you got to come to us because I can't read minds. Stacy can't read minds. But you come to us and say, and you can be either Stace or myself, add us on Facebook and say, hey, I would love to hear, if I could, from whomever that person may be. Give her a name. That's it.
That's right.
That's all you got to do.
I got you. And I'm telling you what
You
we're
look
also
all
going
over
to
it
do.
like a poor hog on a corn cob.
What 606 Paranormal is going to do, too, for our followers and any new followers, too. I'm going to make a post tonight, and we're going to be giving away this Murder in the
That was
Mountains.
episode 4 of the Mountain Mysteries, Murder in the Mountain.
Right.
The name of the
This
episode was Tears of a Star.
This is the 3-piece set. We're going to be giving this away, and all you have to do is like our page and share. And I'll make the post tonight for everybody. And I'll mail it straight to you. It's not going to be out anything. This is a gift from us to say thank you.
Absolutely. The story of Muriel Baldridge, that was another one. We had done that.
Good,
when I
Richie.
done the first one on April Pennington, because I knew April, I sit back and I listened to it, and it was an hour long, and 20 minutes through it, I'm in tears.
Yep.
And I thought, well, that'll be that. I ain't doing that again. And then we done that episode with Meryl. Her family called her Merle. Her name was, of course, Muriel Baldridge.
I actually
17 years old.
Did a case on her.
Yeah.
I went to the bridge and where everything happened, and then I actually went to the graveyard. She doesn't even have a headstone.
That's because somebody stole it.
I mean, I stood up there and just cried my eyes out for this baby. I mean,
it's not the same world that I grew up in.
We've got kids this age. I mean, what is this world coming to? We've all got to stick together.
It ain't the world, it's the people in it gone to hell in a handcart.
Oh, yeah.
The world is the same earth it's been for the last 4 billion years. But the people in it, every once in a while you find some good ones. And that's why I say I love this group of people, because I got this thing. It's called OQP, Only Quality People.
That's
who
right.
you associate yourself with. My circle is very small. Very, very, very small. In that circle was Trevor Huff, Oliver Little, people like that. Good people. And this group that we've surrounded ourselves with the podcast and the Mountain Mysteries gatherings and then Contact, great people, because they care about something more than themselves. And they realize that that the God we serve is bigger than us by far. So with that being said,
Mary said you're giving everybody the bird when using your middle finger to go up and down on your phone.
I would be a horrible guy for the Tootsie Roll thing. I just
A 1, a 2, gone.
Krista K. Crumb said, I ain't got no circle no more. Just not now. I'm with you. I got it. Stace is pretty much my circle. Stace, Lloyd. I don't know. I got a few friends like that are really good people that I trust with anything.
Yeah.
Definitely my daughter. She's too much like her dad. She just don't give a damn. You know, she'll look right at you and say, "Oh, I smell the bitch." So it's you need to go somewhere. Fly off.
Really?
That's how Allie is. Yeah, it's the
However,
yeah, my God, she rocks. She's crazy.
you
So,
turn this way, so we're gonna get some Slim Jims.
yeah.
That's what we do.
So with that being said, you want to run the box there for a few minutes, see who comes through before we look, and just give people a little bit of a taste. Let's say for 5 minutes.
Hey,
Okay.
we're ready.
Yeah, it's 53 after. We'll say at 58 after. We'll come back and I'll pull it down. Okay.
All right.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Heath Ledger, here we go.
Okay, I'm going to open up the other spirit box. If anybody wants to come through, for anybody that's here with us in our chat room, we ask you to come through for us. We're all in this circle together. So concentrate. If you want to hear from somebody, just concentrate of them. You know, just think about them. And I'm going to put you in the protection of a circle of light. That's what we're going to do. And I'm also going to turn on the meter in case anybody wants to come up to the meter and show us that you're here. Who's here? Ellie.
Buddy.
Wow, it's going crazy tonight.
Yeah.
Or does anybody want to come through for us? Katie? Jim? As you can see in the reflection of the spirit box, the K2 meter is going off, which is actually pretty cool.
Who do you want to message?
We want to message
Give it to Siri.
To who?
Siri. Turn that phone off.
Because I was.
Can you help us with any information about Amber? Carly says she saw an orb. I've got 2 super haunted dolls in here tonight. I didn't get a chance to really go over them, but we'll go over that Sunday when everybody comes in.
That one that you're pointing at right now, that thing
Yes,
is
sir.
meaner than a night in the Los Angeles County
Yes,
locker.
absolutely.
That
You
thing's
are
mean.
so right. Yep. So I always make sure I have some good haunted objects in here so that we can get a little energy going. But they are blessed. If you remember last time, it jerked the cord on us. You remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Can you tell us anything about this doll that came in? Doll. What can you tell us about her? Dolly. Can you tell me what?
I
Go ahead.
can tell you that she needs to be farther away from me.
And here we go with it. Yep. Lloyd does
Yeah,
not.
Summer's in here. Stacia, you know you are always welcome to come through. And you know, girl, we have the coolest name. You know, we're cool, so you can always come through. How about Trish? Trish can come through. Anybody can come through. You guys can have at it, and I'll get the messages to whoever we can. Love you. Do you want to come through for anybody that's in our chat room? I don't know. I was listening to the woman.
I was trying to listen to
Okay, you listen for that one. I'm listening to the soft voice woman that's came through and asked for help. Can you tell me your name? Brad. He said, my nan. I'm called Mom. Can you give me your name? Can you come stand in front of this K2 meter? Can you come stand in front of it for me?
God. Famous.
Whoa.
Yes, God is with us always. We're all in love and light. In light, he says. He said, "Ooh, watch the K2." He said, "It's no excuse." Can you stand in front of the K2 meter again? You know, it's not going to hurt you. It's right here. You can just stand in front of it like that and make it go off for me. If you can do that, that'll let us know that you're giving us a yes answer. Okay? Every time you stand in front of it, it's going to be yes.
Every time I do that, I get cold.
I know, it's very cold in here. We should have brought that tent gauge. If you're in here, can you stand in front of the K2 for me? I'm going to stand back away a little bit so that you feel more comfortable, maybe. I don't know if the camera can see it or not, but I'm going to scoot it back a little. There we go. Can you stand in front of it? If someone in your family is in here with us on this program with it, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So someone's in your family here. Delbert. Are you here for a female? Can you lock that up for me if you're here for a female? Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Can you use these boxes to let me know their first name?
Dale. Fear.
Dale.
Crayon. Region.
Oh, that doll's known to have crayons too. To get the crayons out of the box. Thank you. Is this person over the age of 30?
I was trying to get it on.
I'm trying to keep everything at a distance so that it won't make a K2 go off. Can you light it up if you're looking to get a hold of a female that's over 30? I don't know how else to actually do this really without trying to get in any more detail, you know.
Constant.
Someone under 30?
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to do it again because that was right on the line. Someone under 30? Brooke. Someone under 30. Are you trying to get a hold of Brooke? I heard somebody say Brooke is why. Charlie says he heard Beth come across there. Is her name Beth? She said something died.
I keep thinking I hear my name.
I do too, but it's boy. But one was boy, one was Boyd. I heard Wolf County on there today too, again.
Of course.
To the lady who's whispering, can you speak a little louder for me? Goodness. If you're still there and your okay. If you're still there and your family is in our chat room, I heard Brooke too, Tracy. I want to let you know you can come through on any of these devices. You can use the energy in the room. I brought plenty for you. You can come through in love and light.
Yep.
That was, for you.
What do I have? Oh, Lord.
Do you know anything about the haunted doll that we got in the mail? The newest one. Can you tell us anything about that?
Oh, no.
Wonderful. Is this one haunted by the spirit of a woman? Yes. Can you tell me her name? I heard Chris too.
Oh, gosh, we're yellow.
I heard Chris too come through there. We must find these girls so their families can, I mean, we won't stop.
No closure, yeah.
606 Paranormal and all of us and this whole family, we will do everything we can to help.
Yes, we will help.
Are you the one who is haunting the doll? Can you stand in front of that for me? Some guy said that'll be hard.
I thought I just heard somebody say hello.
Spirit
Like I said, I'm not an expert on that, though.
No, we want every
input.
Every input.
That's why we welcome everyone's input. If you are haunting the doll, can you walk in front of that for me? This is the last time I'm going to ask because I'm going to.
Yeah, we're about out of time.
Thank you so much. Before we close up, does anybody have a message for anyone else with us in the chat room?
Anything at all.
I'm going to be closing down in about 30 seconds. Help me. And the girl sounded like she was crying and said, Mom, please. I want to thank everyone who came through for us tonight. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate everyone coming through to help us. And like I always do, I'm going to keep listening to this for a while to see if we can get anything else.
So I'll tell you what, Sunday, it goes on at 8 o'clock Eastern. If you guys want to come back in and watch a little bit more of that, we can talk a little bit more about whatever you guys want to. That's what Context is about. It ain't about Chris, and it's not about Stace. It's not about Lloyd. Well, it's always about Lloyd. But it's about you guys. So if you want to come in and let's check this out, you're welcome to.
Right.
And be our guest. Because like I said, anything that we do, I try my best to stand behind it. And if I thought for a split second that what you just heard was made up bull crap, it wouldn't be on here. I don't have the time or the patience for it. But I've seen what Stace does is I've seen her bring peace to people that had none. I've watched the woman that I know of. We've been doing this show now for what, a year?
A little over a year.
A little over a year. I've watched you save at least 3 lives. 3.
I try to do everything I can for everybody, even the children and the elderly. I will make an extra effort to go to them wherever they are.
You think of a life like this. Small. Almost seems insignificant, but if you take it and you throw it into a body of water, that wave, that ripple effect, touches everything around it and everything near it. And it goes on and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. Now you imagine getting enough of those. Just one of those is enough. But if you get a bunch of those, it can change the course of destiny. It can change people's lives. That one life could save 10, 15, 20, 30 others. Maybe all it takes is that one life to talk that guy off that ledge or that woman from taking an overdose. Right. And you take that life away. What you've just done is destroyed everything in its path. And you've made the world a darker place. And that darkness grows. It's like a festering freaking shadow.
This advocacy.
Can you turn that down a bit, Stace?
Mm-hmm.
That is why we are here. We want to keep the memories of those alive that we've lost and loved. And whoever it was, and I'm sorry, earlier that said there is no getting over it. You're absolutely right. There's not. But you surround yourself with quality people, people that love you, people that respect you, people that want to see you succeed. And you learn how to live again. But you will never forget them.
I need to message you real quick. What just came across there?
Go ahead.
I don't know if you want to say this.
Just go ahead and hit it on my personal chat. It's moments like these that make me wonder if maybe I should have become a doctor or a lawyer. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's what it said. Word for word. Word for word.
We'll have that conversation, but not right now.
Right.
Did they at least say where?
I turned it down. I couldn't make it out. But
The next time I say turn it down, look at me and say, shut your damn pie hole. I'm in the middle of something. I love you. We'll be back in a minute. And I mean, I would have just took you off the screen had I needed to.
But I scooted it over here so that I can still hear it, Yeah. But hey, we heard it. Yeah. It's bad.
And as far as all of you guys thanking us, we're getting ready to step out. But no, we are the ones that thank you. If you want to repay what we do, here's what it costs you. You tell them. They've got somebody to turn to now. You tell them we're here. It will never cost you an episode to listen. It will never cost you $1, a dime, a nickel, a penny to listen to an episode that I've done. If my name is on it, if Stacy's name is on it, if Chris Sloan Media is on it, it ain't going to cost you nothing. If Pinnacle Entertainment or 606 Paranormal is on it, it ain't going to cost you nothing. Right. If you want to support on Patreon down the road, you're welcome to. If not, just do me a favor and keep telling people about it. Have people join our Facebook. Have people listen right here on any one of these channels. On Sunday nights, it's only in one place. That's YouTube. But this Sunday, it's going to be just like this because it's going to be free to everybody. That money we use to help us take the trips, to have the interviews, to pay for the platform, to pay for the equipment. And as you can imagine, this crap ain't free. None of this stuff is free. Sorry, I know my voice probably went nuts there. But none of this stuff is free. But because of you guys, we've been able to do it so we can put out a quality memory. Or we can put out a quality episode and keep their memories alive. That's what I'm trying to say, I think. Okay. Anyways, Stace, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm fired up to try to help, and like I said, we're going to keep doing different things. We've got the Estes method next time and a few other things we're going to.
That's coming Sunday night. Wait till she tells you about. We'll talk about that Sunday, but man, the Estes method it's awesome. It's pretty cool. So anyways, with that being said, I want to thank every single one of you guys for being in here tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Our Facebook page has absolutely exploded. It's grown, and that's all because of you guys. And this all happened right after a dream I had with April, sitting in the car next to me in pitch black and without opening her mouth. And in case you missed it, this was her. I think that was taken when she was 15. She died about a week after she turned 16. But you can see she was so beautiful. And she had these big ruby red lips and this dark hair. And she looked at me, and without opening her mouth, she said, "Get back to who you are."
That's right.
And be ready. I didn't know what she's talking about. I just said, okay. What is it they say faith is the absence of things unseen yet untested or whatever. Something like that. Anyways, I had faith. God is leading me on every step of the way of this because I just ain't smart enough to figure it. Hell, it takes me 2 hours to watch 60 minutes.
Tell Janet. Janet's asking our pages. My page is under Stacia Bellett, but our team page is 606 Paranormal. You can message me on either one.
I'm sorry, Jan. I didn't even see that. Like I said, honey, like
I
I
just
just
saw
told
it.
you,
I caught my name and saw it. So
this just like I told you, honey. It takes me 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes, but you asked for Stacia's page, so you got that. So we're good there. Of course, ours is the Mountain Mysteries.
yeah.
And there's like 10 Chris Sloans out there. You can look for mine. You can see the radio stuff and the microphones and stuff. That seems to be, it's a passion. I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough by God to get to do something I love. I just wish it could be sometimes a little better news. That's the way it is. Because we do have a promise in the next life. God said, never again will you have to separate. No more tears, no more joy. I believe that. I believe that openly. And I look forward to it. With that being said, we are going to step out for tonight. We thank everybody for being here and being a part of the show.
Yes.
And I'll give you the same parting thing I do with everybody else. I love you guys. I want you to stay safe. May God bless you and your families. Keep them all safe. And until the next time that we meet, as always, stay mysterious. Stacia, love you. Lloyd, love you.
Love you. Good night, family.
And hopefully we'll see you back here Sunday at 8 o'clock. Good night, everybody. And as always, with the Mountain Mysteries, stay mysterious.